Brandon Sanderson's The Dark Talent. This is book 5 and supposedly the final book. There's actually one coming out within about a month, late September here. And that one is the final book. So this is the Evil Librarians, Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. And I like this as almost a National Treasure-esque adventure but with lots of footnotes. So, Alcatraz was abandoned by his mother and father, was in foster care. His grandpa rescued him from foster care on his 13th birthday after receiving a bag of sand from his dad. So, the sand we learned was made into lenses, and those glasses help read a forgotten text. That this ancient people had like almost superpowers, almost too much power, in that their leader, Alcatraz the First, scrambled all the text and, hid all of the secrets of the super powerful past people. So the whole series has been about getting the lenses to read the forgotten text and also certain forgotten texts that help describe powerful actions and unique abilities. So that's where all this is going. Long story short, eyeglasses have power for certain people who can use them, called oculators. And then there's also this family line called the Smedrys. And so Alcatraz Smedry has the ability to break things. His grandfather is late to things, and all of his cousins and aunts and uncles have these strange abilities which seem really bad, right? And it's almost like it's supposed to be the opposite, right? The librarian controlled world is supposed to be very orderly, this happens, very drab and that kind of thing. And this, you know, the free kingdoms is supposed to be the opposite. Everything is very unique and flavorful and, the opposite of orderly. Bad things can happen, but it turns out good. And so these talents are passed down through the family. And if you marry into the family, you can also get the talents. Anyways, this one really is about everything all coming together at once. All the storylines are kind of converging. He's competing with his father. He made an alliance with his mother. They're all trying to get to the last repository of forgotten text. There's two sets of lenses that can read the forgotten text. And so it all culminates in the Highbrary. This is the Library of Congress, and kind of why I themed it as National Treasure, right? They're breaking into the Library of Congress in search of these closely guarded books. So, with the alliance with his mother, he has kind of an inside track in that she is a librarian. Yeah, his father and mother married, so they both have the ability to lose things, and it's usually like put it in a drawer or a pocket and then it's gone and it's only available later when they need it. So there's also kind of the subtext of overpowering glass. We don't really know what's going on there, but Alcatraz did it a couple of different times with Communicator's Lens. The glass conference at the beginning, he calls them back and it gets transmitted like almost all the way around the world. So lots of fun, great storyline. They spend a lot. There's some build up. Like there is the gathering all the characters and then deciding to go to the Highbrary. So that wasn't super exciting. But once they're in there and the action's going, it's a lot of fun. It's almost kind of a mystery to figure out where to go in the library and then all the obstacles that they meet along the way. Previous cousins are there to help, and I don't want to give it away, but yeah, the dinosaurs are also there. I think we saw them book 1 or book 2. Just lots of fun. And so for this one, he's got different lenses. There's the Truth Finder's lens, which he found on the tomb of Alcatraz the First, that shows when somebody's lying. It's a single, lens. So there's the Shame Filler's lens, which they use to get through the security dome inanimate objects, it fills them with shame, and they are able to communicate through this lens and say, oh man, I used to be the best cabinet or whatever, and then, did you see how that person bumped their head? Or, like, it fills them with shame, and then it either falls off or breaks. So it's almost kind of like an extension of the breaking talent. So each lens kind of has its own properties and abilities. There is the Shaper's lens, which came with a dire warning. You see the inner desires of another person, and so the grandfather warns the main character, like, be careful what you use this for. This is an ability nobody should know another person's inner desires, and you shouldn't use that against anybody, even the librarians, the enemy, that kind of thing. So the last one is courier lenses, and we've talked about those in the past. But yeah, pretty much the objective is get to the library, get in, find out a way to get to the forgotten texts, find the forgotten texts, discover the secrets before the father or any of the librarians figure out what's going on. So kind of against all odds, sneaking in there, lots of fun. But I cannot wait for the final book. So this one, it is the final book in the sense that the main character, Alcatraz Smedry, this is the last book he writes. From his perspective, this is the final book. And we know that Bastille will write, or the final book will be from Bastille's perspective. So, wrapping up the Alcatraz series, lots of fun. Can't wait for the final book. Just lots of unique perspectives, and it just kind of turns society in itself on its head. There's a lot of questions that are asked almost unintentionally. It is a young adult series, but it's great. I mean, the combat, right? If you think about it, why would you take out, an enemy populace when you could knock them unconscious and then, wipe their memory, and then they're happy citizens afterwards. So it seems kind of dystopian in that sense, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, why would you exclude a population when you could, include them? So lots of different concepts. Young people in this book are pilots. They have roles where they can contribute. It's not just, oh man, you're not of age or whatever. I don't think I heard that at all in the entire series. So just lots of fun. If you like Brandon Sanderson, he's got 2 or 3 other young adult series. So if you enjoyed those, this is right up your alley. And of course, this is the refreshed cover. So yes, if you get the chance, buy the refreshed covers. Not only do they look cooler, they're also under Tor books and go to the author instead of Scholastic. So I didn't know when I first bought the series, and so I bought the Scholastic books, not knowing. But anyways, always remember to buy your books used and enjoy your read.